Hi! I haven't really worked out an introduction for this, so I hope you guys are content with my little couple notes at the beginning. This video is going to be dedicated to some Shakespeare quotes. I like Shakespeare quotes. If you don't really want to watch that, you don't have to. I'm going to be reading from my complete works of William Shakespeare here. He's so pretty. Like, if I could speak without the stuttering, I would talk like this all the time. Because it sounds so like you listen to someone when they talk like this. Even if you're not like interested in what they have to say, you're like, wait, they're talking in Shakespearean language. What are they saying? And it sounds better too. Like, I could say, you look pretty good. Then I could go and be like, your hair doth smelleth like a summer's day. I would never say that because it sounds weird now that I've said it out loud. But it sounds much better. I'm gonna start with some of the sonnets, which are at the very back. Okay. You've probably heard them before, some of them. I'm not gonna do the shall I compare thee to a summer's day, because that one everybody knows. At least they all know that first line anyways, because it appears everywhere. So we'll do this one, sonnet number 15. When I consider everything that grows, holds in perfection but a little moment, that this huge stage presenteth not, but shows whereon the stars in secret influence comment. When I perceive that men as plants increase, cheered and checked even by the selfsame sky, vaunt in their youthful sap at height decrease, and wear their brave state out of memory, then the conceit of this inconsistent stay sets you most rich in youth before my sight, where wasteful time debateth with decay, to change your day of youth to sullied night, and all in war with time for love of you, and he takes from you, I engraft you new. I like reading out loud, if you can't tell. This is sonnet 130. This is like my favorite sonnet ever because, well, I'll explain afterwards, but I love it. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are dun. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked red and white, but no such roses I see in her cheeks. And in some perfumes is there more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground, and yet by heaven I think my love is rare, as any she bellied with false compare. Fuck, that's so good! Like, oh, people hate it because they think that he's insulting the mistress, like, oh, she's not as good as all those other girls. But no, he's saying that he loves her so much despite the fact that despite her faults, okay? That's what it's saying. All of those things don't have to, no, it's saying that anyone can be loved. Anyone is deserving of love. I mean, oh, I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. Like, oh. I love that. That's sonnet number 30. I think I said that, but I love it so much. 138 is another similar one. When my love swears that she's made of truth, I do believe her, though I know she lies. That she might think me some untutored youth, unlearned in the world's false subtleties. thus vainly thinking that she thinks me young, although she knows my days are past the best. Simply I credit her false-speaking tongue. On both sides thus is simple truth suppressed. But wherefore says she is unjust? And wherefore say not I that I am old? Oh, love's best habit is in seeming trust, and age in love loves not to have years told. Therefore I lie with her, and she with me, and in our faults by lies we'd flattered be. This is Sonnet 104. To me, fair friend, you can never be old, for as you were when first your eye I eyed, such seems your beauty still. 3 winters cold have from the forest shook 3 summers' pride. 3 beauteous springs to yellow autumn turned, in process of the seasons have I seen. 3 April perfumes and 3 hot Junes burned, since first I saw your fresh, which yet are green. Ah, yet doth beauty like a dial hand steal from his figure with no pace perceived, so your sweet hue, which methinks still doth stand, hath motion, and my eye may be deceived. For fear of which here this thou unbred, ere you were born, was beauty's summer dread. We're gonna go to Romeo and Juliet because it's Romeo and Juliet. I feel like every time someone says their favorite, that their love is like Romeo and Juliet, people are, the obvious answer there is always, you know they died, right? Like, yes, I know they died, but it was fucking beautiful. Like, shut up. It's a beautiful love story. Yes, they both die, but they died to prove their love. They died because they weren't gonna live without their love, and that is what's so pretty about it. Not pretty, beautiful. Romeo and Juliet. 2 households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers takes their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife, the fear passage of their death-marked love, and their continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, for which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. This is the one that everybody knows, but, so this is Romeo in the Capulet Garden. Act 2, Scene 2. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. 2 of the fairest stars in all of the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars, as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she lays her cheek upon that hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. I'm going to include this too. This is like 2 seconds later. Juliet speaks. O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father, and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. 'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. What is a Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself. Then Romeo storms in. I take thee at thy word, call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I'll never be Romeo. I love it so much. My ears have not drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, yet I know the sound. That's just a fancy way of saying I haven't talked to you long, but I know what your voice sounds like. We're in Hamlet now. Act 1, Scene 2. I might just act out this whole scene because it's just... I love it. It's so funny. We're going to start here after the king's long speech because I love Hamlet. He's so sarcastic. I love him so much. But now my cousin Hamlet and my son, a little more than kin and less than kind. How is it that the clouds still hang on you? Not so, my lord. I'm too much in the sun. Good Hamlet, cast thy night colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not for ever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou knowest 'tis common, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity. Ay, madam, it is common. If it be, why seem it so particular with thee? Seems, madam, nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced breath. No, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected behaviour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shows of grief, that can denote me truly, these indeed seem, but for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which pathos show, these but the trappings and the suits of woe. Okay, so this is like after everybody leaves, and it's Hamlet's soliloquy. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting hath not fixed his canon against self-slaughter. Oh God, how very stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on't, oh fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed, things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was, to this Hyperion, to a satyr, so loving to my mother, that he might not beteem the winds of heaven, visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember, why she would hang on him, as if an increase in appetite had grown by what fed on it. And yet, within a month, let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is women. A little month, or ere those shoes were old, for with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears, why even she, O God, a beast that once discourse of reason, would have mourned longer, married with my uncle. My father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month, ere yet the salt of the most unrighteous tears hath left the flushing in her gulled eyes, she married, O most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor can it It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue. I think that's gonna be all for today. Had a really good time reading to you, and I hope you enjoyed watching. If you didn't, I don't know why you watched the whole thing up until this point. Anyways, have a good day, everybody, and stay happy. Wait. I forgot. There's bloopers. You really want to see those because they're kind of funny. Yeah. Bye. This book is heavy in my hands. Sonnet. I can't speak and deserve it. Present. Subtleties. Obsequious sorrow. She says she not I can't speak. Of impetuous sorrow. I'm not good at speaking in this sometimes, but subtleties. That's a sentence right there. I'd. I can't talk. I can't say it. I'd. So except the visage. Persevere. I can't say that word. Didn't call to I can't talk. Don't look at me like that. Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here. That's great. Holy Saint Francis. That darn Saint Francis, eh?